That is not necessarily mission failure here, but it is a little concerning. She has some science she can do now. She can take a surface sample, like Jeb did on the ocean. She's doing the exact same motion, but it's on the ground instead. She has taken that surface sample. Now she's going to get back in the ship, probably. She should probably plant a flag, I guess. Not that it really matters. It would be a shame to do all this and not plant a flag. Munpollo Val was here. And there you go. Kerbal Space Program. Astronaut extraordinaire. Go ahead and hop in, and I have ways to. Well, I want to go the other way though. We have ways to try to get into space again, utilizing torque. Let's see if we can do it here. You wanna spin, and also try to get it to have like an up and downness to it. See, like that, and then hit the engine at the exact right time. Nope, that's not it. And I didn't save, so we are going to we're going to restore from the quick save. I think I can keep Val from tipping the ship over. I think, but I don't know. So she's coming down again, just the way she was before. Let's go ahead and fast forward here. Yeah, the problem is her helmet, I think, clips into this. And if I had put a decoupler here, that would have probably solved that problem, because it would have looked silly, but it would have solved the problem. And I kind of wish I had done that, but you know, it's too late now. There's not much I can do about it now. I've had the problem before. I thought this would fix it. I've never tried this solution. Now I know the solution doesn't work, and she clips into there, which then causes it to fall over. If all else fails, we could not get out. It's not a requirement that you get out. It's just, I want to get out because I want to do more science than we have. So I'm also going to watch my surface velocity here as we come down, because now that I know, also notice that when I recover, the delta V readout is fine. So that's another reason to think it's a bug. Once we get slowed down to vertical here, oh yeah, it is about the exact amount. So there goes that. Now I know we have 1359. Just fast forwarding down to about a kilometer off the surface. Get her rolled around so we have solar panel in the sun. Okay, there we go. A little bit of an issue there with the speed we were coming down. It seemed kind of odd. I don't know. I panicked a little bit and hit the gas, but what are you gonna do? Okay. And I can't keep it, so I'm gonna hit the gas here for a second. I came down to too much of a sideways velocity because I had lost my my aiming at retrograde. Because when it gets below 1, you stop aiming at retrograde. So I have to make sure it stays above 0, or above 1, I should say. Okay, and keep it up. Now what I want to do here is we have a natural tendency to lean this way, so I'm going to rotate the ship around. Now let's go ahead and do this science. It wants to go EVA, and we know that. But I'm going to rotate the ship around a little bit so that the front of the capsule, like where she's going to be standing, is on the downhill slope. I think this might do it. So we're going to go EVA, and I'm also going to instantly start going down. Okay, there. So we managed to keep the ship upright was my goal. So there you go. So I was able to do that. Let's go ahead and take her science experiment like she did before. And let's plant our flag because we're good little Kerbals. Munpollo, Val was here. And of course the flag resets because we can't have anything nice. Let's go ahead and get back in the ship without bumping it too much. And we want to go, let's see, first of all, our orbiter is over here. I think I can set target. Can't see his orbit, which would be convenient. But we know it is somewhere to the, like, let's see, where is Kerbin? Kerbin's there. It is slightly northeast, very, very slightly north of east. So this is north, this is east. So we want to be going, yeah, basically that way. So let's go ahead and do that. Probably aim just at that, I would think. And we want our apoapsis here. Is already too high, probably. Yeah, here's a thing I've seen before with orbital lines just vanishing. I'm gonna go in the danger zone and hit F5, and then hit F9. See if that fixes it. And no, it did not. Disappearing orbit lines. How cool is that? There's not much I can do at the moment about it, except get myself into orbit. So at Moon Apoapsis here, I'm going to aim at my prograde, and we're gonna time warp to Apoapsis. We'll just do this manually, and once I get into orbit, I'm going to go back to Kerbal Space Center. And back, and then see if that restores the orbit lines. And if that doesn't do it, I'm probably going to have to restart the game and hope that does it. And if that doesn't do it, I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm not sure if I can do a rendezvous without orbit lines. Oops, 40 by 19. Well, that's more than I want, but that's what I'm going to get. So let's go to Kerbal Space Center and see what happens here. We're going back to mission control. They're trying to figure out exactly why we don't have orbit lines. Maybe it's because this guy's exhausted. I don't know. This guy's doing jumping jacks in his spacesuit, which seems like a bad idea. That's because I'm in the training center, not the mission control or the tracking station. So around Moon, we've got Munpollo 1, which I believe is the correct one. Default name 8. Okay, yeah, this is Munpollo. They don't have orbit lines here, which is scary. So default name 8 is this guy, apparently. So there is a way to rename these guys. Oh, there you go. We're going to call this Munpollo Lander. And I guess hit enter. There we go. And let's control it and see what happens. Okay, hitting M, still no orbit lines, and also crazy stuff's going on. So I will be back when I have restarted the game. One cool thing about Kerbal Space Program 2, reloading the game, reloads you exactly where you were before. However, this time we have orbit lines, which is very good for me. Okay, so we're at a too high of an orbit, which I don't really care or we're about. Mostly what I care about is my let's see, clear target and set target. I want to know my ascending and descending nodes, which doesn't seem to be said in here, which is, let's say it's annoying. But whoa, craziness. So I'm going to do it by eye, which would be easier if his orbit wasn't the same color as Moon. Okay, can you see his orbit? I surely cannot. Right around here is where the two orbits collide. So if we just do this, that'll be our first. There we go. Oh, now it's saying what the descending node is. Yeah, somewhere around here is where I want to set it. So, whoops. And if we make them flip, then they should be perfect. Okay, so that'll make our orbits coplanar, which is the first step here in getting us getting our ships. Oh, hello. Getting our ships together. Let's also keep the solar panels in the sun like we like them. Okay, we got 41 minutes before this burn. Let's go ahead and warp to it. "40 seconds from now." Let's fast forward to it. Whoops. Not throttling up to full because it's such a short burn. But that should get our orbits. That's close enough for my purposes. I'm totally happy with that. Okay, so now at some point, I don't want this on my screen anymore. But I can't get rid of it. There we go. That's his apoapsis and our periapsis. So at our apoapsis, I want to do a tiny little burn to bring our orbits together like that, so that we actually have a spot where we're actually interacting our orbits. Let's go ahead and aim at that and fast forward to that. That's going to be another one of these really, really short burns. Perfect. And now we just need to keep orbiting until our ships get close enough to each other. So let's go ahead and time warp to here. That changes these. Let's time warp to here. Okay. We're getting closer. Honestly, they had different icons before, and these icons they had before were much easier to understand, but what are you going to do? Let's see how things change here. I see what it is, yeah. So here's where he's going to be when we're here. So we want to warp to here. And he's closer. We want to do one more. And ideally he's going to be much closer now. Looks like we want to do one more. I'm going to warp a little bit farther out this way. And then say warp to here. I actually think he's going to be really close to us when we get to here. Yeah. Okay. So here's where we can affect what we do now. If we want to burn prograde here, does the opposite of what we want. So let's burn retrograde instead. We're just going to pull his orbit back to ours, and I'm hovering a finger over shift and a finger over X, and I'm just going to do this. We're getting our number 2s, and actually, you know what? The number 1s look like they're even better because we'll have more time in the sunlight. So I'm just bringing these things together So on the next orbit, these guys are going to be really close to each other, 500 meters, which is perfect. Our periapsis is never getting too low, so we should be fine now to warp to here. And then go into target mode and go target retrograde, and then we should be able to see our target behind us there, and there it is, which is awesome. So now all we need to do is, I hit T twice to turn off and then back on the computer so I'm no longer aimed at anything, so I don't have to click anything. Now what I want to do is I want to aim like this and do a little bit of burn just to move my direction marker towards my target. That way we're now heading towards the target. Get my solar panels in the sun to stop that thing from going. But now we're lack of stellar. Okay, maybe he's got lack of stellar exposure. I don't really care about him too much. But we're heading towards him now. Now I actually want to aim retrograde because this is close enough to be called a rendezvous here. Say within 500 meters. There we go. Just gonna time warp, get even closer. There's our other ship. Okay. Slow down so we're basically going the same speed, and now Val can get out of this ship and instantly climb down. Now Val has all the science in her suit. And that ship is going crazy. So let me switch to it. Turn on the computer. Rotate it. I'm not sure exactly what Bob was doing. But let's get his solar panels in the sun. And then let's go to Val. Now Val, if we look at her, you can't see what science she has. Actually, you can. It's right here. No, it's science. Yeah, see all the science? She has all the science that we picked up. The ship also has all the science, but the important thing is that she has it because she's leaving the ship behind. So we don't really care if the ship has all the science so long as she does. So let's go ahead and head over to the other ship here. Let's make it our target. Oh, okay, that doesn't make it the target anymore. Double clicking the ship did not make it the target. It switched view to it, which is something I'm going to have to get used to. Now Val is coming up on the ship here. And change my camera modes a little bit. The camera modes thing can be frustrating because it's changing based on where I am and what I'm looking at. But okay, this is fine. She should be able to get on the ship with this camera mode. KSP1's camera modes are definitely better. Now she can board, and now we have all the science that we had, all the landed surface samples, environment samples, we have all that in this ship. So now we don't need to worry about the orbiter anymore because Val brought the data over, which is the important thing. So now all we got to do to finish this mission is come home. And to come home, we all know you create a maneuver plan somewhere on the sunny or on the Kerbin facing side, and you just extend it out until your periapsis gets close to low. And we're going to set it down to, we'll say 80. And that's perfect. We couldn't have a better burn. We're going out perfectly backwards, which slows us down compared to the moon, which brings us down to Kerbin. So let's go ahead and aim at that. It is a mere minute and a half away. It's going to take 269 of the 1334 meters per second. As I said, I put enough fuel in this thing to completely slow us down at Kerbin, and it looks like I've actually got more. So we're gonna leave some fuel. We're gonna dump some fuel in the atmosphere as we get down, but that doesn't really bother me too much. We're not in target mode. We're in orbit mode, which is good. We're gonna fast forward to 0 hour here. 10 seconds away. 5 seconds away. 1, 0. Should probably hit the space bar to activate the engine. And we are going to stop right there. And ideally we now have a Kerbin periapsis 41. Is it okay that it's in the atmosphere? I don't think it is. I think we're going to go very, very slightly. I should actually have it out. There we go. I'd like it to be around 80. 82. Perfect. Okay. So we got one more task here. And that's to leave the moon sphere of influence. Let's warp to here. Leaving the orbiter in orbit of the moon forever. We have no science to get because we're out. And then at Kerbin's periapsis, we're going to have to set up a maneuver node to slow way down. And we're not going to do the same thing we did last time. When we slow way down, we're going to get our periapsis somewhere around, we'll say 25. And of course we're going to quick save before we actually enter the atmosphere, but that's what we're going for right there. So let's aim at that. Make sure our solar panels are in the sun again, which they are. Let's find Kerbin. Let's time warp to our maneuver node. Got 2 full minutes before we get there, so let's fast forward to it. And Aloha Eta. I don't know what they're saying, but I think it's Aloha Eta. Val and Bill are going to be safely coming home. I don't know what this means as opposed to the other way it goes, but when this gets to 0, that's when I'm stopping. We should have, our periapsis is 13, which is lower than I wanted. So I think I'm going to speed up a little bit. We got plenty of fuel. Well, when I say plenty, I wanted it to be about 25. Now it is. Now I'm going to hit F5. We're going to go back to retrograde. Delete the maneuver node and head on into the atmosphere. See how things work out. Sun is already set. We should ideally cruise all the way around the planet and still land in the sun, but not go around orbit 7 times like we did last time. Okay, we got decent fire effects going. I expect to see temperature gauges any second now. When I do, I'm going to dump the last 138 meters per second and then kick the engines away. Okay, there we go. Let's do it. And slow down. We were in time warp. We might not make it to sunrise. Not a huge deal. It's far more important that we survive. Got a little bit of heat on the bottom capsule. I don't think Bob is too happy about this. We are like on the verge of losing it. I think we've survived. Wow, that is like a pixel right there away from burning to death. Luckily, we shouldn't be accruing any more heat, so it should be bleeding off slowly. Our first surface speed is under 1,000, so we should be good. We are in the darkness, sadly. We are way above the ground, so I'm going to go back into time warp. Yeah, the heat thing's gone now. We're at 10,000 meters over the ground. 9, 8, 7, 6. The parachute's not going, so I'm going to do it manually. This is a bug we have seen in the game. I'm going to F5 here. And then F9. We'll see if that fixes it. And we lose our people. However, we have saves to load from. So let's go ahead and load the game. Here we are burning up. Here we are, I think, in orbit still. I wish it said what your... That was an autosave. Let's go to this quick save. One way to do this to fix the parachute thing is to trigger your parachutes in space. So I'm going to do that, assuming we're in space here in this. Oh yeah, we haven't even... yeah, we've set our periapsis to 25, and we've determined that that's fine. So let's go ahead and... Actually, let's go ahead and bring it up to 30. Or 32, because I hit the wrong key. Let's make it 30. There we go. Let's hit F5 again. And let's actually trigger our parachute first. Parachute here, this here. Now the parachute's been triggered. So now let's fast forward and go into Kerbin's atmosphere and see if that fixes everything for us. Yeah, so from low Kerbal orbit, it looks like 30 might be the happy place to set your periapsis. 25 was too low, 35 was too high. Yeah, that flashing is crazy. It's got to be that ambient light mod that I have installed. I tried to make everything look brighter, and instead of that, it's making the sky go crazy. We are heating up the fuel tank, so I'm going to hit the gas. There goes the last of that. I'm just going to let it suck up as much heat as it possibly can. Our periapsis is already... See, the chute popped. That cannot be good. There's no way that was safe. But it seems to be okay. So I'm going to pretend that that's what we meant to happen. We came down through the clouds and it looks like we're still in the ocean. We are. Not a big deal. It's very pretty. Very, very pretty. But yeah, a little bit of fire on your parachute never hurt anybody, as Bob and Val have proven. But we'll call this a successful episode. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I definitely enjoyed playing it. I'm going to, after we successfully land, I'm going to hop over and check out how much science we get, because we obviously get to unlock as many nodes as we want to. And success. Let's go ahead and recover this bad boy. Oh, look at what we got. I've got to check these out. Val got a ton of things. She's the first EVA in space. She planted a flag. She did EVA on the ground. She landed on the moon. Oh, tons of things. Bob also got, like, he completed a mission. They both got the participation trophy. He got all the orbit stuff, withstood the splashdown. Awesome. Oh yeah, let's head to Kerbal Space Center. And let's go to R&D. And let's check out what we got. 817 science. Now we have to research this. Obviously 800 is going to be enough to research all of these. I can't hit the spacebar, even though it kind of looks like you should be able to. So let's just go ahead and get all of these things, because I have to do them one tier at a time. 677, that's more than enough to do this whole line here. Let's go ahead and do it. 472 is more than enough to do this whole line here. including the moon landing, which you're supposed to unlock in order to land on the moon. And then the last one I'm going to be able to do is tiny engines. So let's go ahead and unlock it because we have to. And we cannot do power launchers, so we're not able to get to the next page of the tech tree. This is not the end of the tech tree for anybody who doesn't know. There's far more. There's 4 whole pages. We're on page 1, and there's 2, 3, and 4. So we'll have to go to Minmus to get this one, but we have all these things to build our Minmus ship, which is more than enough, including docking ports, and this tiny little thing that does the same science report that this guy does. So we don't have to bring this big Science Junior along. We can bring the Science Junior along in order to get more science. And that's so far the only science we have, by the way. Science is a lot sparser in Kerbal Space Program 2 than it was in 1, for better or for worse. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this. I definitely enjoyed playing it. I will be going to Minmus next time, and I'll be bringing you along. I am Superfluous J, and I will, as always, talk to you later.